right, guys. Hey, welcome back to part two of NSPS TV Paranormal Podcast Saturday edition. Uh, about 2 hours ago, I was up in Pennsylvania talking to Kindred Spirits Paranormal, and now I flew down south. It took me like 10 minutes on the broomstick. So, uh, I'm in Lafayette, Louisiana, talking with a young lady that I've talked with before on the podcast, Miss Bernadette. Is that
Bernadine?
Bernadine. It's Bernadine.
Call me B. That's what you called me last time. Call me B.
Okay, I'm gonna call you Miss B.
Okay, gotcha.
And her team. And these guys are some of these guys are new to the team. Am I right?
No, they've been with me for quite a while.
Okay, quite a while. My fault, but new to the podcast show.
Yes.
So
Yes.
welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Now we're gonna take a quick commercial. We're gonna come right back, and after that, Miss Bernadine, we're gonna sit down and we're gonna talk for a minute. And you know how deep we get into things. So we're gonna talk a little paranormal, and we're gonna talk about your team and how you guys came to be and all that good stuff. So hey, I'll be right back in a minute.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, guys. Hey, welcome back to the show. Some of you guys might wonder why come I am not in the lion's den tonight. Well, I'm in the hallway of a motel on the second floor. We had some problems at the house, so we had to vacate the facilities for a little bit. But we're planning on getting back in there either Monday or Tuesday. So I will be back in the lion's den, and I'll feel a hell of a lot more comfortable. But, man, I try to make it as comfy as I can. So, hey, guys.
Zingers.
Guess what I got? I got zingers.
And Coke.
Oh,
No,
that's
that's root beer.
Oh,
And you know what?
Here.
Hey, I like to thank Zingers, sponsor Zingers. And the craziest thing is they're not paying me for it. So that's okay, though. That's okay. But the main reason why I have you guys on the show is your state of Louisiana, man. Unbelievable state. So full of culture, diversity, and you guys have some amazing food. But anyway, let's forget about that. B. I almost said Bernadette. B. Talk to me about your team.
My team is an awesome team. Well, I had started the team in 2008, long time ago. Yeah. So we kind of
I'm sorry.
kid or a cat. It sounds like a child.
Baby, he's over there.
We came together. Well, I had other team members, and you know how team members can come and go.
Yes,
But
ma'am.
these guys here have been with me for quite a few years now. Tisha, how long have you been with us?
Since 2011.
Since when?
Well, no. It's 2010.
2010. Yeah.
Mhm.
And Jerry and Tracy.
2013.
Yeah. So they've been with me quite a while. We had we kind of put everything on hold during COVID, you know. It's kind of hard to get in anywhere during COVID. So we're just starting back on our investigations, but we have had some awesome investigations. Yes.
It's true.
You know, hey guys, welcome to the show again.
Thank you
And
for having us.
let's, first of all, let's talk about your state of Louisiana. You know, I can't believe that of all the states, with all the different cultures, all the different religions, and that are formed in Louisiana, that you guys are not considered one of the most haunted states in the country. And trust me, dude, the minute I cross the state line from Texas into Louisiana, I feel the creepy vibe.
We have that creep factor. Yeah.
Come down to the bayous.
Yeah, the bayous.
And you guys have so much history. How is that not be? I mean, how is that not the case where you guys are not in the top 3 of most haunted states in the country?
Well, we should be. I
We
agree.
really should.
I agree.
I
We should.
I definitely feel we should be number 1, but I feel like those stats are opinionated.
Okay. Well, you might be right, but history has a way to proving people wrong. Maybe some of the states that are a little bit more haunted than y'all's were maybe the other states that was formed, some of the states that were formed first, like the Pennsylvanias,
Oh yeah.
the Marylands, all those northern eastern states that first called the 13 colonies.
Right.
Right.
I give them that.
When people say New Orleans, they automatically think haunted.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
one of probably the most haunted cities besides Savannah.
Right.
But it's I don't know, man. Maybe one day we'll figure it out. But either way, you guys are in the top 5, and that says a lot compared to 50.
Right.
And besides, you guys got great food there. You're number 1 in food.
Absolutely.
People across the world think we wrestle alligators. So
I go to school on pontoon boats.
yeah.
Guys, when we talk about paranormal, what is the first thing that comes to y'all's mind when people say paranormal?
The unexplained.
The unexplained. Well, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that can't be explained, but is that what you guys focus on as a team, to try to explain the unexplained?
Well, we go out and we help people also. People that have potential paranormal activity in their homes or businesses. Because a lot of times we get out there and we don't find anything, but sometimes we do. And a lot of people are afraid of what they don't understand. So we try to educate them also.
A lot of people like to automatically go to, oh, it's paranormal, besides looking at other issues, like that one house we did in Lafayette where the guy swore there was something wrong in the house. His mother kept feeling something. And once we ran the test on some electrical items, it turns out the refrigerator was faulty, or the electrical cord that it was connected to was faulty. And that was the whole problem. That was why they were feeling what they were feeling, because they had too much electricity
The
Yeah.
high EMF
The
have
high EMF.
Correct.
yeah,
Yeah,
high EMF has negative effects on your body and your mind.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely.
And
It could
there
even
was no
cause
spirits or
mold.
anything. It was just that. He didn't
Mm-hmm.
want to believe us, but it exactly what it was.
Isn't
Now-
he the one that really got upset with us because we couldn't find anything paranormal?
Yep.
Yeah.
He was
Yes,
the
ma'am.
You know, is it hard for you guys to tell someone that, you know, everything that go bump in the night don't always go bump in the night? You know what I'm saying? When
It's true.
people tell you, when you go to, you know, you go do your little mini investigation and you're like, well, ma'am, we don't sense anything, we don't feel anything, we don't, you know, we might hear the chicken coop, you know, some scratching over there, but I mean, there's really nothing going on, you know, but people want to get an attitude with you.
Yeah, and some places could be haunted. If we don't capture anything, we can't give them evidence of what we don't have. You know, sometimes the spirits might not want to come out for us.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you know what? Man, spirits are. We've had this conversation the last podcast, and we're going to dive into that a little bit later into the show. You know, people have to understand that spirits, just because they're dead, doesn't mean that, number one, they don't look, they don't listen, and they don't understand, because they understand everything. You know what I'm saying? The picture is so much bigger for them. You know, it's shit. I mean, they understand why the chicken crossed the road. We might not understand why the chicken crossed the road, but I'm sure they do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, and for people to, hey, there's nothing there, they should accept that, because if it was something there, they might not want it there. You know what I'm saying? So if somebody comes to tell me, like, hey man, I didn't find anything in your house. Okay, bye, see you later. Hey, here's a donation. And here's a,
Here's a zinger.
Here's a
Who's the
zinger.
singer?
you know, but
Yeah.
it seems like people this day and age, they are afraid, you know, for things that go bump in the night. But the thing is, they, if it's not bumping, just let it be. You know what I'm saying? You
Right.
don't,
You think, yeah.
you know.
Mm-hmm. And a lot
When
of
you
times,
try to explain things like high EMF to them that they don't understand because they're not an investigator. They haven't researched what the effects it could have. You know, it can make you hallucinate, get you nauseous. There's a lot of things high EMF can do, but it's not a paranormal thing. It's an electrical issue, like a
Right.
faulty breaker box. But when you hallucinate, you actually seeing and hearing those things. Just like a mental illness, you know, you're actually seeing and hearing those things, but it doesn't mean it's actually there.
right.
So it's hard for them to understand because they actually believe what they seen and heard, you know.
I find a lot of times when people start noticing paranormal activity in their homes, they automatically want to jump to, oh, it's a demon.
Correct.
And that's not the case. And most of the time it's just a spirit is the same as you and I. They just don't have a body anymore. All they want is recognition. They just want to be acknowledged. They want somebody to recognize that they're still around. And
Yeah.
once you give them that recognition, you know, hey, I know you're here. We can coexist. It's good. A lot of times it calms down. The activity calms down.
Now, I'm glad you mentioned that. You know, a lot of people think that when certain people have attachment, and it might be true that, you know, they're bringing outside forces into their house, you know, and they got that attachment from another location. So they're bringing it in. Okay, guys, give me a number on what you guys think that most hauntings in a residential is probably family members. What is the percentage on that you guys might think that might be?
Like a deceased family member?
It's a cousin, uncle, aunt, lost dog, that, puppy, or,
Mhm.
something that's related to the family.
I mean, that's a high probability.
Yeah,
It is.
I mean, they do visit back and forth, but a lot of the places that we do investigations on, it's mostly, historical things with the land, and
Right.
old houses and spirits or residual energy from spirits,
Mhm.
depending, like if it was Civil War related, things like that. It could be a residual haunting. But I mean, our loved ones do visit us. I'm pretty sure of that. But a lot of investigations is from people that move into places that already have activity.
Now, do you guys think that disturbing a certain, let's say, remodeling a certain home, do you guys think that can stir up energy?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
Oh,
absolutely.
Yeah. During renovations, we get pretty many calls.
Absolutely.
Stirs up the energy, and some
does.
spirits don't like change.
Right. You're absolutely right.
Because they have a perception of what it was when they were alive. They don't want us changing that. So it upsets them.
Okay. I can see that. I can see that.
Mhm.
Let me ask you guys a question. Is it possible that we can actually see spirits, but our minds sometimes don't allow us to see them? Is that possible?
You look at children. Children, a lot of times they see spirits. A lot of times they, because their mind works on, this is what I see.
Mm-hmm.
As you're growing up, you start getting in your mind that, okay, that ain't right, this isn't right, this isn't normal,
Or this isn't real.
or this isn't real. You start to block these things as being abnormal. You don't want to be abnormal. You want to be normal with the rest of society on what they think. So you fall into that. It takes it. That's why a lot of people say you have to turn on your senses, because in fact we've learned throughout the years growing up to turn them off, to not see this, not hear this, like your peripheral vision. A lot of people don't see much on their peripheral vision. They only see what's straight ahead of them, and that is it. When they learn to open up vision around them, that's when they start seeing things.
Yeah, B, we call that tunnel vision.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly. In tunnel vision, because they don't want to see what's on the other side.
That's right.
And some people are highly sensitive. Tracy's highly sensitive.
Yeah.
He's high. Like when we go on investigation, he's the first one to pick something up, a feeling, before we do.
They love him. They're always wanting to touch him.
Yeah.
It's that bald head. I'm telling you what it is. It's the bald head.
It's the bald head.
Okay. Hey guys, maybe you guys can answer this question for me. I'm gonna put a question up out there. I don't know if you guys see them already, but maybe you guys can answer that question for me.
Our worst place?
Mm-hmm. We have a worst place. Do we?
As in worst place.
I rather enjoy all of our places.
Place or a place we haven't found anything paranormal?
Can you be more specific on your question and leave it in the comments? And I would ask these guys when it pops back up.
The place probably was like the scared us the most is that one that was outside of Broussard, where they had that closet.
That was the portal.
That closet that had the portal in it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that shoved me out the room.
It went straight through him.
It went straight through me. It took me off my feet and threw me against the wall.
This is a man that has been to war multiple times. 20 years retired military. Okay. nerves of steel. I saw him cry.
That scared the hell out of me.
Oh, wow.
But still went right back in.
He did. It didn't want him in there.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. It shoved him back against the wall. And it startled me because I was standing right next to him. And I'm like,
Tracy's a big guy. Stand up,
Tracy's
Tracy.
a big guy.
Stand up and let him see how big you are.
Oh.
Stand up.
Oh, 6 foot, 250.
Yeah, he's a big guy. So for something to push him through a wall, that's pretty heavy.
Right.
We got a lot of evidence on that one.
Yeah, that was the
in that one back room.
It's that one room.
Okay. Well, okay. Here we go, guys. Here's the
Creepy haunted place they don't like. That was it.
yeah. It seems
That trailer with those little girls in it.
Yes.
Huh?
The one right here by Youngsville. The one we brought in. What's her face from Lake Charles?
It's okay.
We brought in a medium,
okay.
and it turned out that the haunting was coming from the land, because this was a mobile home that had been brought on, much later. The events that led to this haunting obviously took place around the turn of the century, 1800s to 1900s. It was two little girls, sisters, that were being molested by an older family member.
We don't know exactly, but.
And eventually murdered.
Wow.
And when the medium came in, well, first thing that happened was Tracy started getting punched in the kidneys.
Oh, wow.
And leaving red marks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, photos of that.
Yeah. And then
And that's when the little girl grabbed my hand.
the medium could see one of the little girls. She kept grabbing Tracy's hand. What it was the entity that was holding these little girls there saw Tracy as a threat.
Oh, wow.
Because Tracy and I also do cleansings. If the homeowner or the property owner wants us to go in, once we've reviewed the evidence and we know what we're dealing with, if they want us to, Tracy and I will go back in and we do a cleansing. And so far we have a 100% success rate. So
No one's called us back. So.
nope.
Yeah.
Nobody's called back with problems since then. So we went back and we did a cleansing, and they haven't had problem. We haven't heard from them since then. So it's a good sign.
Oh, yeah. Definitely a good sign.
We always try to ask spirits to cross over.
Absolutely.
We don't really want any spirit to be earthbound if it doesn't have to be. Some spirits don't know they're dead.
Right.
Well, sometimes you just have to tell them, and we don't go in provoking spirits. We don't allow that, because you never know if you're provoking a child spirit. You don't know if you're provoking an angry spirit. So we try not to do that.
It's just not polite.
And that's not going to help the people when we leave also,
Right.
That works.
Teams that do that don't realize or really don't care what the consequences are when you leave and that family has to live in that spot.
That's right.
Now, do you guys ever figure out what kind of spirits you guys deal with, male or female? And if you guys, and what number do you guys, and do you like do you like to deal with more male spirits than female spirits? Which ones find out to give you guys the most trouble?
I don't know.
The ones that like to interact the most is children.
Yeah.
For some reason, I've always seemed to interact with more male spirits than I do female spirits, only because of some of the locations that we've been in. nursing homes and
Mhm.
hospitals where, a male spirit have a tendency to want to be left alone, because he was left alone in the nursing home. So he figured that that space is his, and he don't want nobody to venture into that space, especially a woman, So they tendency to get kind of moody and pushy when you enter, when you go into their space, and they have a tendency to want to push you out,
Just
aggressive.
like they were in life.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
You
Tisha, you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Was making sure we
I was
didn't
about to
lose.
say,
Yeah,
mm-mm.
Tisha and Jerry, didn't you work at the Caldwell House, Tisha, or that was just?
Oh, I did extensive research on that house.
Yeah,
I actually worked there.
we had a lot of evidence from that. It's a
Mhm.
historical home, actually
And
abandoned
then
in our town.
some of that research spilled over to the city hall where they own that building.
Oh, wow.
Right.
That's the Autry Hotel.
The Audrey, yeah.
And
It's the
Yeah.
Audrey, the
investigation.
veranda.
Mm-hmm.
The Autry Hotel.
It swapped hands.
The fourth floor, we can never get our cameras to work.
Mhm.
We
Yeah.
can hardline plug it, and it still won't come on.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is it you guys in Lafayette? There's a lot of old money in Lafayette. There's a lot of people that are stuck in their ways. When I went there, and I'm like, dude, there's nothing to do, man. I wanted to hit a bar up, and there's no bars,
What? You on the wrong?
Where did you
Oh,
go?
honey. Lafayette's the bar capital of the county.
My son went to the university down there, so I was down there by the college.
Oh,
And
By McKinley Street?
You just have to go. You just have to go a couple of blocks over, and you would have hit Jefferson.
yeah, that's
Right.
a strip,
Yeah.
or used to be.
but I did see a lot of
Still the strip.
Okay. Now, down in the that's more of the historical district of Lafayette, around the university
Yes.
and around Jefferson Street and all of that area. The Mouton family owned most of that from all the way to St. Martinville. And there's a woman that I'd love to get the history from, that I spoke with her briefly at the courthouse one day, because my nephew owns a house down in the Jefferson Street area, and we had met with her to see about getting his house on the historical registry.
Mhm.
She gave me a brief history, and it's pretty interesting. But the Mouton house is still down there, and it can get kind of creepy.
I'd
Well,
imagine so.
yeah, because it was a huge plantation,
Mhm.
and the Mouton house is a huge mansion, and the surrounding houses were actually slave quarters that are still there. So in fact, the house that my nephew lives in, I really want to do an investigation there.
I would
Really
love
do.
to go there
You can
because
you can look at the walls, and you can tell this house was built 1800s. Easily.
That's all the
1800s.
way.
It is incredible.
Mhm.
And in fact, I'm going to talk to him about getting us in there, letting us go do an investigation.
that would be great. I'd be so excited. My grandfather is a Mouton. We're descendants of General Mouton.
Come on
Well,
down,
there you go.
Terry.
Yeah, Tisha.
Yeah.
I would love to come, dude. If you guys get that, I would love to come down there.
Well, come on. We'll let you know.
Just imagine the angst they'd have. I think they recently took that General Mouton statue down.
I think so.
Mm.
Yeah.
So that stirs up all kind of angst.
Yeah.
My
Angry.
grandpa's still upset about it.
Oh,
Well,
wow.
the thing is about that, you can't take down a statue and think it's going to erase history. You can't do that. You have to leave it up so that people learn from it.
Yeah.
You don't learn from the past, you're doomed
You're
to
doomed to
repeat it.
repeat it.
Yeah. But hey, is it hard for the people in your community to embrace what you guys are and what you do? Or do they kind of look at you like you're crazy because you're
Well, a
paranormal?
lot of people, excuse me, don't know what we do. I live in a small town, and so do they. We all live in the same town. And I've been in the paranormal field for a long time, very long.
We usually attract like-minded people.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
a lot of people that I know don't know what I do. Because if you go around, advertising yourself as a ghost hunter, paranormal investigator, they don't understand what that is. But ghost hunter, then you have to get the backlash, which I have, in Walmart before, you deal with ghosts, you do voodoo, you're the
Yeah.
devil. I'm like,
You
well,
get-
man,
yeah.
you actually don't know
Oh,
what I do, because we go around helping people.
right.
Maybe one day you may need my help, so you might want to.
Watch what you say.
Refrain.
Yeah.
Right?
We get mixed reaction.
Yeah, in my job field, you kind of don't talk too much about that.
He's a cop.
Shop.
Who's the cop? Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Hey,
It's
He's an excellent cop.
It's fun.
Yes,
It's
he
fun
is.
when you go into certain houses and you immediately feel that there's something in that house, and you can't say anything because you're like,
You're not on that duty.
they're not going to understand this at all.
I tend to usually let them mention things of that nature first
Yes.
to show that they're like-minded.
Right.
Well, I'm pretty
You know,
sure
you
they
come
don't tell you that, Tracy, right?
What's that?
When you go on a call, how many of those people actually say, "Oh, I think I have a spirit in my house"?
No one.
No one. But if they knew that you were a paranormal investigator, you think they'd mention it to you?
There's been a couple of times where I've been in a house where they were like, I feel something in this house. I don't know what it is. I can feel something. And that's when I'll say, okay, yeah, there's somebody. And she's like, who? I said, well, your grandma's sitting right there. And she'd be like, how do you know it's my grandma's house? I'm like, sitting right there.
See, what's neat is that Tracy can feel. He's an empath in the sense that he'll feel the way they died, like what caused their death, whether it was a car crash or an illness.
That one in Erath with the old
Yeah.
man got T-boned.
Oh yeah.
And it crushed his ribs on the left side.
Poked his heart. I couldn't even stay on the property.
Hmm.
My side was hurting so bad I had to leave the property.
Then
Ooh.
I'm an empath in the sense that I feel their emotion. We'll be on an investigation and I'll suddenly get like giddy, or I'll get like really withdrawn and no reason for it. So I'll feel their emotions. He feels their physical pain.
It's. I was in the Navy for 20 years. So I've been around the world.
How do you? Go ahead.
I've been in some very fascinating places.
I bet.
I bet too. How do you guys feel about Morgan City?
Morgan City is haunted.
Now,
Yes, it is.
do you think it's more haunted than New Orleans?
No. Because New
No.
Orleans, you got to look at it. You had fires that burned the city completely down.
Floods.
You had floods.
You had war.
You had war. You have voodoo and vampires. There's legends of vampires being there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, you guys see, I think what actually put Morgan City on the map was the TV show.
Yes.
It's Jeremy
Yes.
Leonard's show. He's a friend of ours.
Mhm.
Well, I've spoke at many conventions with Jeremy, and way before the show. So yeah, he's from that area.
Mhm.
Now, do you think that they got, with all the history on that happened, that's going on, all the history that's down there, do you think the TV show actually got that right?
I don't know. I don't get to watch it that often. But they call Jeremy the CAJUN demonologist. Yeah. I actually had him on a show. Well, when me and Eileen had the Supernatural Substation years ago, before we went on hiatus, we had Jeremy Leonard. He was our first guest, and he was on there with a lady that was actually possessed at one time. Well, while we were on live, and I don't know if this ever happened to you, but on live video and audio, he was explaining to us when he went to the lady's house that they were 70-mile-an-hour winds only over the lady's house, the one that was possessed. And actually on live radio, I have it on our, it captured it like an EVP. Like it sounded like we had 70-mile-an-hour winds on air while we were talking about it. So you couldn't hardly hear what we were saying. It sounded like a bunch of wind, and then it just went away. So, yeah.
Hey, Jerry, this comment is for you, buddy.
Well, I'm actually Jerry.
Jerry's
He's
the girl.
Tracy.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Jerry.
Well, looking at this, a lot of times, like I said, the police are public officials, so therefore they don't want to sound, I don't know, what people might think is crazy and stuff like that. So to have a psychic or something like that tell them, okay, the body's buried here and the body's buried here.
Well,
If it's your
can you
property,
read the comment? Can you read the comment so the listeners know what you're answering to?
I didn't realize.
It's going on.
Yeah.
Already.
Okay, here it is. Okay, what do you think about where there are dead bodies buried outside? Because my friend would have trouble finding a police and telling them, why do I know? Well, I can't tell them that. I know where they are buried, and law enforcement is skeptical of mediums because this person knows where they are buried. Because
you get caught up in that.
It's police are going to be. They want tangible facts. How do you know? Prove it to me.
Now, if it's your property and you dig on your property and you find bones and stuff like that, yeah, obviously call the cops.
Oh, absolutely.
Have them come out. They're going to have a whole team come out,
excavate
it and everything else. Will you be questioned and stuff like that? Yeah, you'll be questioned. I mean, because obviously you find a body on your property.
Right.
They want to know how you knew it was there and stuff like that. But that's because they need answers.
And they need facts.
They need facts. You need to know who the body is, who it belonged to.
But it's basically what she's asking is she can't tell them that she just knows.
Yeah.
Like, how do you handle that?
That is kind of hard. I mean,
that is a hard situation because it's like they say, it's not what you know, it's what you can prove.
But a lot of investigators, police investigators, use psychic mediums to help them
in the larger type cities, the little small towns like here, and they're not gonna do that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Lafayette, maybe. New Orleans, definitely. But little small towns like this, they won't.
Now, would you say, Tracy, that police, would you consider them actually credible if they have a sighting?
wait.
Like if a police officer has a sighting?
Would a person actually believe on what a police officer would say if they actually had an encounter with something that they could not explain, a ghost, a spirit? You know,
Yeah, I would think so, because we are held to a higher standard. We're supposed to be honest. We're supposed to be open-minded, to see around us.
mm-hmm.
So our credibility should stand a little higher. I said should, because I can't speak for all.
Yeah.
But we are held to a higher standard.
Now,
I believe that if we see something, and we say something, it should be looked at as, okay, yeah, that's
A little more
a
credible.
little more credible.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm open-minded. I will talk to other people. If people say they see something, yeah, okay, it's possible. Yes, because I've seen stuff. So yes, it is possible.
Mhm. Oh, she doesn't live in America.
Oh, wow.
Well, yeah, that's a problem.
That's gonna be a problem. Because I don't
Yeah.
know how police officers act in other countries.
Hmm.
It's really a
It's a cultural thing.
kind of like they say, you read the room.
I think Louisiana is more open to things like
Right.
that.
Exactly.
We are.
People down here are more open to discussing the paranormal versus other cultures or other areas in the world. Like you can't go to I don't think we could go to Kuwait and talk about that. No, it really is a cultural thing based on wherever you are as to how people would react to reporting paranormal activity or being able to tell.
England, Scotland,
Well,
places like that, they're more open as we are.
Right.
Mexico is very open to that.
Right.
Very
Oh,
open.
Yeah, I feel they're more open in areas that are highly known for hauntings, because more of them probably have experienced it.
Mm-hmm.
It's really a parallel there.
Oh, I see. Okay. She said her friend lives in Michigan. She lives in Japan, but
Oh,
her
okay.
friend lives in Michigan. Yeah, it would based on the area where your friend lives. She would have to kind of determine that for herself as to the culture in her area and how people react to paranormal stuff. Now,
Find the cop that will actually take her serious about it.
yeah,
And
that's
try
the
to do
trick.
your own research,
Yep. Do a little bit
Right.
of research.
with the library.
Find
or
a cop that will
whatever.
actually believe you, and then go with that. That way,
Mhm.
that cop can talk to other cops, and that the ball can get rolling a little bit faster with them,
Now,
because they'll believe each other.
if it's near a larger city in Michigan, they may use
Yeah,
mediums
they use mediums.
on different on different police investigations. So they may be more open to it. Or if I know there's a large Muslim community in Michigan. I don't know how they feel about the paranormal. So like I said, that's something that she'd really have to gauge for herself based on the community she's in.
right. Now, you guys, and what's so crazy about Louisiana? Dude, you guys are smack down, front line, Bible Belt. Right there in the Bible Belt.
Mhm.
Oh, excuse me. But yet, you guys, I'm thinking, man, voodoo might be up there with all the other top religions in your state.
Yeah.
Could I be right or wrong?
Voodoo
No,
is
you're
a
right.
religion in New Orleans for sure.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So have you guys ever encountered a situation where someone conjured up something using voodoo practices? And you had to figure out what the hell's going on with that.
Yeah, I actually had a guy that called me. It was many years ago. He called me because he didn't know if he was possessed or schizophrenic. The doctors had him on medication, and he didn't want to take the medication because he felt like he was possessed. So normally I don't take a case like that. Transfer it over to Jeremy Leonard or somebody that's a demonologist, because I don't know too much about that stuff, and I don't want to deal with demons. That's not my thing. So I went because I thought, well, maybe he's schizophrenic. Maybe we'll help him to take his medication. Well, I actually got evidence, which I didn't give to him because he felt like if he was possessed, that he would commit suicide, which is what a demon would want you to do.
Mm-hmm.
I actually have on EVP demon telling him what to tell me and him relaying the message to me. So that evidence right there told me that's not schizophrenia,
Right,
when
because
you're demon speaking.
that's the exact case I was thinking of, Dean.
Is that the one we referred to Father Manning?
Yes. And what happened to this guy, the way he came about being possessed, was he was hanging around with a girl that he liked, and she was into Satanism, and she was in a coven. So they had this whole group of people that were worshiping the devil, doing animal sacrifices, which will, blood sacrifice will call in something you don't want. Well, what happened is, whatever got into him chose the weakest link, which was him, because he was just being a follower. Well, he was only 15 when this happened. He was 30 when he called me. So he had been dealing with this for that long. And when I would call his house, I'd have to tell him, hey, kind of turn your TV down or something, because I can't hear what you're saying. All I could hear is screaming in the background, like chaos. And he's like, nothing's on. So, I tried from afar to help him without him knowing I was trying to help him through religion and trying to get him somewhere. Like Father Manning wanted me to bring him there. I'm like, no, I'm not putting him in my car. Sorry, that's not happening. So
Is that the one every time he tried to go to church, somebody in his family would pass away?
And he would, every time he tried to go and make his confirmation in a Catholic church, somebody, either in his family or friend would get in a bad accident or get harmed in bad ways. And he would see demons on the altar. So, sometimes you have to just not deal with stuff, if like us as humans, if we don't know what we're dealing with when it comes to stuff like that, sometimes you have to back away if you can't find them the help they need, or if they don't want the help. Forces like that can, damage you, your home, your people that you love. They can harm you, and you don't want that.
Back in the late 80s, there was a big uptick in satanic worship, big time in this area. And I think a lot of people let in things that they didn't know what they were dealing with, and it affected a lot of people, a lot of families in this area in a negative way. It really did. And I think we still have a little bit of the lingering effects from it.
If you guys had a percentage, you guys can give me a number on what you think your cases would be more mental than paranormal, what number would that be for you guys?
Well, from Louisiana, we all have a little mental,
I think that's a passed down thing.
Yeah, so I would think most of our percentage would be paranormal.
Yeah.
So your numbers
based on
would,
our evidence.
so your
Right.
numbers would be what? 80-20,
Yeah,
60-40?
I would say maybe 80-20 because we normally get good evidence.
Mhm.
You know, we take good cases. We don't take every case because you just can't take every case. Because a
Mhm.
lot of people that hear, you know, creaking in the night, they're going to call us. And we have lives of our own. You know, we don't have time to just go and sit in a house for 5 hours
Mm.
with just a creak in the floor, you know. So and if it has something to do with children, we normally take those first.
Mhm.
Okay, I understand that. B, let me ask you a question. What would you tell a team that's brand new, that's still got their green horns, eager to get out there to investigate? What would you tell a team that wants to do that?
I actually, you know, me and Eileen, the lady that was on your show with me last time, we speak at conventions all over, at sci-fi conventions, and we speak against people doing what we do because we've seen the effects. You know, me and Eileen had to live through that, you know, and our children were affected by it also.
Mhm.
And just based on the things that we had to grow up in and see, and how, you know, the television has just blew it up for the paranormal.
Mhm.
You know, I tell people, go and live your life. You know, we do this to help people. You know, it takes years of training and researching, and you have to actually have it in your soul, you know, something you really want to do for people, because we don't get paid for what we do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we go out, we get evidence. We don't do it because it's just a hobby. We actually help people.
You can't do it as a hobby.
No,
You
this,
can't, because you have to be so careful when you do this. Because you never know what you're walking into. You never know what you're dealing with.
yeah, you're dealing with stuff you can't see. So you don't
Exactly.
know if it's going to follow you home. It's a chance we take,
Hmm.
you know.
Hey,
Just a quick side note. My daughter said hi. She typed in hi, mom, earlier. So
Oh,
hi,
hey.
Jackie. But no, you do have to be very careful when you're going into this. That's why we always say a protection prayer before we start and another one when we leave, to make sure that nothing follows us home, to protect us while we're there, to give us the wisdom to deal properly with the entities that are there, because you have to have respect for these souls.
mm-hmm.
They were
But
human once.
yes, ma'am.
Most of them. They were human once. And they're the same as us. They just don't have a body anymore. And
Mhm.
9 times out of 10, they just want to be acknowledged.
And we'll be there one day too, you know.
Oh yeah,
Exactly.
You
and
want
and you know what's weird about it, guys? We just had this discussion on when I was talking to the guys from Pennsylvania, and and we kind of had a kind of heavy discussion on these young paranormal investigators that are coming out in the world, that want to rush into doing things, and but the thing is, guys, they're not looking for people like B that's been around, that's been doing it for years, and just it's been educated and have knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
They're looking towards Hollywood and what these guys are doing to for them to teach them and show them the way, which we all know Hollywood is full of boo-boo half the time. you know
yeah, and even the reality shows are temporary, you know.
yeah,
Right.
so what would you tell somebody that's really sincere, that wants to get into this and has the heart, and the passion to do it, but they don't have anybody. So they're looking towards Hollywood to do that, and and it kills me because we all know that Hollywood is not right. Hollywood has not been right.
Well, it
Since,
glorifies the paranormal and the
yeah,
supernatural. And that's what the teenagers are looking towards now,
Mhm.
you know. So I always speak against what I do. I do it to help people because I've been there, you know, and I know the bad things that can happen. And I know, even though we help people with what we do, I don't suggest, especially a teenager or anybody early in college, even, you know, go and have a life, have kids, have a family, because you get spirit attachments to you now that can drag on with you forever, you know, and you not
True.
even know it's a spirit attachment, but
I got
they're going to get to the weakest link, and then they're going to be calling us, you know,
I,
what do I do?
I got 3 attachments. You know what they're called? Kids.
Zingers,
No, kids.
kids. Yeah.
Of them. They would be attached to my hip forever. You
You
know,
know
I'm
what?
like,
My advice to someone wanting to start doing this, if they're really, really adamant about doing it, they need to step back and evaluate
Yeah.
and make sure that they're doing it for the right reasons.
mm-hmm.
That they go in respectful. And you go in, the way I do it is, okay, I'm not just going to believe that there's a ghost or a demon because you said so. I believe that these things exist, but I need to be able to prove it. Hello. I need to be able to prove that it's real, number one. Number
Mm-hmm.
two, so basically what I'm saying is don't just go in blind. Oh, they said there's a ghost there, so there's a ghost there. No, you go in, you collect your evidence in a respectful way and in a professional way. You don't provoke. I mean, if somebody went up to you, hey, if you're there, give me a sign. I said, give me a sign, and starts pointing in your face and provoking you, how are you going to react?
Hey, stop it. Stop it.
You see what I mean, though?
Yeah.
You have to go in respectful. You can't go in provoking and antagonizing.
If the kids are going into the paranormal field based on what they're learning on TV right now, they're going in it for the wrong reasons.
Exactly.
And you know, I think the kids are misunderstanding between what a ghost hunter is and what a paranormal investigator is. So people try to put those as one, but you can't do that because
You
it's 2
can't.
different.
It is.
It's like the paranormal and the supernatural are two different things,
Yeah.
Mhm.
but they exist together.
Right.
And you know what?
You have to know.
And we actually had that conversation, and I asked her that question
Mhm.
on our last podcast. Wow, man, yeah. So people need to understand it's a difference between a ghost hunter. It's a difference between a paranormal investigator. If you really want to, you really can't compare the two. The investigator would actually, does his research, does his history, and wants to actually find answers for the reason of the haunting. A paranormal investigator, a ghost hunter, it just goes to look for a ghost.
Right.
And I will put if I had a choice, if you want to put an urban explorer and a ghost hunter in the same category, you can do that.
Mhm.
I might be wrong, but I think you could put them two together compared to the other one. What do you guys think?
I think you're right. I mean, it's like you said, a ghost hunter is just going in there to get
Chills and thrills.
not even just evidence, but
Mhm.
okay, like on a lot of the reality shows now,
It's to get people's attention.
it's the shock value.
Mhm. Chills
they're
and
after.
thrills. Yeah.
You know, they're not there to truly help that homeowner or to
Mhm.
help that spirit that's trapped here. and can't move on. That we, that's why what Tracy and I do after the fact, if they want us to, we go back and we do a cleansing. And it's not necessarily to get rid of them, it's to help them move on to where they need to be.
Okay.
So,
Now, if you guys, since we're stuck on this, these young paranormal investigators, if you guys was to have a junior team, where would you send these guys to for their first initial investigation? Now, you guys don't want to send them to a very active location where, the potential of them getting hurt is pretty high. Where would you guys send them so they can have a clear understanding, one, on how the equipment work, two, understand the communication between A and B, and number three, they be able to learn and educate themselves about the whole thing? Where would you guys send them to?
Well, I don't think I'd have a junior team. But if I would, I would probably just send them to a graveyard,
The one in Henry.
Yes.
yeah, that's the grotto
The grotto.
Yeah.
out in Henry.
Yeah. Something simple. But
Mhm.
even
there's a lot of
stuff like
stuff
that, I have a friend of mine, her son had asked me one time, can you think it would be okay if I went to a cemetery, which is in our town in Abbeville, the oldest cemetery by the tracks behind the school board? Well, he said, it's Halloween and me and some friends want to go and do an EVP session. I said, not a good idea.
Mhm.
He said, well, it's going to be a full moon and it's Halloween. We really want to do this. What do you think? I said, well, I think if you get a spirit attachment to you and bring you something home, your mama's going to be really mad at you. Well, so he actually did go against me and did do the EVP in the cemetery. A couple of weeks later, his mom calls me because now he's got some weird thing screaming and screeching in his ear while he's trying to sleep. Now that he went in the graveyard, did that, because I don't know if they provoked, because I wasn't there, but it was teenagers. So, yeah. So then he had to end up in a mental institution.
Oh God.
Oh, wow.
So all this is from, let's go do an EVP in the cemetery because it's a full moon and it's Halloween.
Right.
So yeah, I always advise against it, especially if they're kids. And sometimes they don't listen. But then they have to call us again.
Hey, the very young don't always do what they're told.
No.
That's
I,
a statement.
and you know who taught me that? Oh man, I think it was Yoda or something on the Jedi. The young don't always do what they're told. Guys, man, I'm hoping that I live forever.
You
Same.
do live forever. Yeah.
Hoping that I can stay in this body and I can stay 28 years old forever. B, I saw that.
You want to stay 28 forever?
Wouldn't you want to be forever?
No.
I'd say
Okay.
40 forever.
40
Okay.
forever? Yeah. At 28, I was not wrapped too tight in the head, so
No.
Well,
I can't
hey,
say that.
and at the age I am now, they say the damn same thing. So
We don't believe any of that.
I want to go to the other side, so I can talk to Patton. I can talk to MacArthur.
Yeah.
I can go listen to Elvis sing.
That's right.
but check this out, guys. In the year 2100,
Hey.
Hey, right?
Hey. Yeah.
in the year 2100,
Mhm.
do you think we will still be investigating the paranormal?
Oh yeah.
forever. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll never go away. And then when we get on the other side, we're going to give them trouble here.
Right.
Okay.
We'll come back to make sure they're still investigating.
That's right.
Hey, I got a question for you here in a little bit. So, can you imagine what kind of equipment that we would have in the year 2100?
Oh,
And
wow. Yeah.
I would love to see stuff like infrareds,
yeah,
but the reverse side of infrared. Instead of it being heat signatures, it's cold signatures.
and can you imagine the equipment that we would have, like you saying, Tracy? The equipment that we would be using. It's going to be amazing, once we get that age, get that year. Hey, I'll be young. I don't know about you guys. I'll be 28.
Again.
I'll be 28 because I found the fountain of. So, but yeah, Can you guys imagine what kind of equipment they would be using?
I can't even fathom.
And another thing is, as we were talking about the future paranormal investigators, if we don't teach these kids now, because these guys would be up in age, if we don't teach them now the proper way to investigate, the proper way to speak, because kids today aren't being taught the proper way to speak to an elder. They think they can speak to an elder like they speak to like one of their homeboys off the street.
Exactly.
So can you imagine how that's gonna be? Because I'm telling you now, if a kid investigator comes up to me and tells me, "Hey, what's up, homie? Can you?" Man, I'm gonna smack him upside the head, and I'm gonna say, "Hey, is that how your mom or dad taught you how to speak to an elder, especially somebody that's 100 years older than you?"
Right.
Like, what the hell, dude? If we don't teach these kids now, they're never gonna learn.
You're right.
I'm not against teaching a young one how to come in. When I say young, 25, nothing younger than that. Teach them the right way.
Right.
Teach them how to do it safely.
During the eclipse week.
Just what to do, what not to do, what to look for, how to relax your brain to be able to see things, and use that third eye. But slow.
And some young kids these days have abilities, and they're just trying to learn them. And if you could teach them that,
right? How to
that would
harness
help
that,
them out.
how to harness that gift and use it. Now, did you see her comment about the eclipse this week?
Yeah, it's this week.
Hey,
I'm
man.
not sure about the investigating during the eclipse. I'm not familiar with the eclipse thing. I'll even know more about that.
Yeah,
I'd have to.
That's a supernatural thing. Yeah.
There's more extra space stuff there.
Well,
I ain't
it's
messing with that.
scientific because it's going to affect the energy on the planet.
Yeah.
Hey,
It does. Every eclipse does.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find me the biggest fence, hop on it, howl at the moon, and go home and go to sleep.
Don't forget the zingers, Terry.
Yeah, and you know what? And the zingers.
And milk.
But I'll be those while I'm on the fence.
Oh yeah.
So I'll be multitasking. I'll be eating zingers and howling at the moon. So yeah. But guys, seriously, if we don't teach these guys how to speak properly, to the elders, I think these generation of paranormal investigators are going to be lost.
I know, and you're right. It's up to us.
The lost spirits will find them. Yeah. They'll have to learn the hard way, some of them.
I'm about to say they're going to learn the hard way, one way or another.
Yeah.
They're not going to be very successful if they go in there with the attitudes they have.
Yeah. You know, with all the technology that is going to be available, all it takes is a simple act of kindness and respect.
That's right.
That's all it takes.
And that's the biggest thing I could tell them is always go in with respect.
Yeah, not all of those kids are like that. You know, they have some that are more mature
Mm-hmm.
that you can speak to and they actually listen and understand, you know,
Right.
Well,
but a
those
lot
are
of them are not.
those. I think those are the ones that are being taught at home,
Right.
They'll make
They're
a
being
difference
parented.
today, you know.
that are being parented right.
Right.
They have home training. That's how we say in Louisiana.
Home training.
Yeah.
Hey,
Know that a
hey,
slipper
hey,
is used more than just on your feet.
Yeah.
hey, and not afraid to getting that switch off the tree and doing the right thing. and everything.
Right.
That's right.
All right. Hey,
We lost Tisha, but she said thank you for having her on the show.
yeah, no
We got
problem.
dropped by accident. Yeah.
Yeah.
No problem. Hey, guys, does anybody have a basement in Louisiana?
Not that I know of.
They're few and far between. There's one house here in town that has a basement.
Is it
but
yours?
it's off the ground. Yeah.
Is your house got a basement?
No, not ours.
Oh, I was about to say. All right. Hey.
No, we're below sea level.
Yeah, you dig
Yeah.
you dig 4 or 5 feet in the ground, you get water.
Yeah, we're below sea level. We don't have basements here.
Yes. Okay, guys. This is gonna be for Tracy. This question is gonna be for you, brother. You have a garage, so you're in your garage, and you know something's been on your mind, and you need to get this off of your mind. So you go grab a hammer over here, you go grab a screwdriver over there, and you start making things, you know, and the next thing you know, hold on. You made something like this.
Oh.
Now, you don't know what it is because it's just something that you made up. He's like, man, I don't know why I did this. My mind, something or someone was telling me, my mind was telling me to make this box. So you made the box. But there's a switch on it. There's an on and off switch that you made on that. And you hit that switch and boom, you just get bombarded with energy, a large amount of energy. Now, you don't even know how you did this, but you did it. Okay? So you turn the box around and you're looking and you can see something through it and you see people. So you thought your mom's playing tricks on you, so you cut it off. The people disappeared, you cut it back on, you see people again. Hey, you see houses, you see just like everything that you see in normal life, you see through that box.
Like a portal.
But one thing caught your eye. Somebody's looking at you. And you know, you're like, you waving at them? It's like, hey man, hey, come over here and let me talk to you. So, you know, you guys started having conversation, and you know what he told you? I'm from the other side. I've been dead for almost 200 years. Okay, the question that I have for you is, with you inventing something like that, do you think the world is ready for a device with that type of capability that can see into the other realm?
Nope. They're not ready for it. They're not ready for it.
Not ready for it.
And the reason why I say that is you look at the simple fact of aliens. Yes, a person would be ready to hear it, but not the entire society.
Not a society.
The entire society would panic, you know, and question everything. It started uprising and everything else. They panic too easy. You can explain it to one person and it'll work. Like, I'm sure if I invented a box like that and turn it on, I could talk to my wife about it. I could talk to Bernadine about it, or Bernadette, whatever you want to go by today. I can even talk to you about it.
Call me B. Yeah.
Because I know talking to an individual, they would understand.
Mm-hmm.
They would look and see and be like, wow, this is fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
But to go out and tell a bunch of people, no. No, because it only takes one to panic. And
Okay.
panic is like a disease.
Yeah.
It spreads.
Yeah, it's mob rule.
Mob rule.
B, what do you think about that device? Would you share it or would you put it back on the shelf?
I would put it on the shelf for only a select few to deal with.
I agree.
I wouldn't advertise it on television, you know, because
Now-
maybe in the year 21.
Now, do you think that
No,
do
but
you,
not now.
do you think by having a device such as that, do you think it would change the way that people investigate the paranormal, considering what you three guys know already? Would it change the way that you investigate?
Well, yeah, if we can
Yeah.
speak directly to them, we can ask them the questions, you know, and get the straight answers from the other
Right.
side.
Because
Yeah.
that's one of the things I hope for one day is to actually be able to sit and have a conversation instead of just little bits and pieces and, you know, answering yes or no, to actually have a conversation.
And we have people that have abilities like that. There's mediums, you know.
Right.
And I would love to be able to do that. Just to
Oh, I bet,
speak,
hey,
speak to one.
I bet you mediums would be pissed off if you invent a box like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's turning their ability into technology.
And
Yeah.
that, to me personally, I don't think the world would be ready for such technology. Because it would be so mismanagement, misuse of it.
Mhm.
It's just not.
Humans have a way of messing things up for others.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
they do.
You
Yeah.
definitely have somebody greedy go, no, where's the money you hid? Where's the money?
Mhm.
Oh, definitely. There's something from the church aspect of it.
Yeah.
You know-
Oh my God, the church would go insane.
I can imagine, I've seen churches go to war for far less.
Mhm.
Oh,
Different
yeah.
religions go to war for far less.
Absolutely.
It's proven right now in the Middle East, the Palestinians and the Jewish. So can you imagine if you was to debate to make a box, a box that is more significant than a piece of land that they're fighting for.
Right.
It would definitely be considered from the devil.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
definitely.
In the church's eyes, it would be considered, a sin.
And the-
I mean, they already, say, it's not right to speak to the dead because it's only negative things, which it's not,
No.
No, it's not.
depending on the spirit you're speaking to.
Exactly. And man, I mean, it's a shame that we've been on this planet for hundreds of years and we're not even ready for basic technology, something that can help us evolve to the next evolution of humanity.
Mhm.
We're not even ready for that.
Well,
You know-
hopefully in the future, things become better. That's all you can pray for,
2100.
Yeah,
Yep.
you can pray for it. Don't mean it'll happen, but
Yeah. Hey, you know what? I'll still be 28 years old, so I'm good.
sitting on the fence with zingers howling at the moon.
Yeah.
Yeah. But don't tell nobody I do that.
We won't. We'll keep it a secret.
Keep that with me. Keep that on the down low, man. But guys, it's just one of those. Oh man, dude, I was hoping that, you know, as a society that we have advanced, and been on this planet long enough so where if something like that was available, we would, embrace it instead of doing the opposite with it. But we're just not ready for that. It's just one of those things, like B said, and like Tracy said, put it back on the shelf.
Right.
Now, will we ever be ready for it? No, because mankind always has to have the upper edge in everything. Technology, religion. There's nothing that man wants to sit above the table, above all. Technology, religion, and so on and so on. So something like that could never be brought out.
Right.
They would not know what to do with it.
Maybe years and years ago, they might have been thinking the same thing, and now we have the EVP recorder.
True.
And the other things that we have technology-wise we didn't have 20, 30 years ago that we wish we did have. They had somebody that had to invent these things for us to be using them.
Yeah, but the EVP recorder has always been around. It's just that it was a jumbo-sized tape recorder that we used to have in our second
But we didn't have a REM pod. We didn't have all these extra gadgets that pick up spirit energy.
Right.
But the Tesla ball has always been there.
Yeah.
And that's a device that a lot of paranormal teams don't use, to attract spirits, because spirits see all that energy in that Tesla ball and they want to come up and touch it and get a little suction of that energy between their fingers and between the glass. So there's been devices out there. I think like Nikola Tesla, he wanted to invent devices that can make sure that we are good, as far as the paranormal. He was the main one, but the government said, "Oh, hell no, you're not bringing this to the table, not now, because the world is ready for it."
Right. And I think it's instead of having an open mind, they automatically fear it because they don't understand it, and they shove it away instead of trying to understand it.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's electronics. We had the Ouija board.
Yeah.
But that, you could tell the person on the other end, oh, you pushed it. Or
right.
But
electronics, it's kind of hard to, debunk an electronic if you need energy to make it go off.
Yeah. And you know what's so crazy? The Ouija board used to be sold at Toys R Us. Used to be sold.
It was a board game.
For entertainment purposes only.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, at Walmart in the children's section.
Yeah. They're now. Well, you mentioned that word Ouija board. Man, people are running the other way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They want to bother with it.
Kind of like voodoo. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Voodoo. One of the most misunderstood religions ever. When people think of voodoo, they think, "Oh man, that's bad."
Well, just like the Ouija board, it's the intent that you put behind it.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Your intention is what you're going to get from it.
Yeah, and you know what? And just like every other known religion, Hollywood put voodoo on the bad side. All voodoo wasn't made to be bad. You know what I'm saying? Some of that magic was made to help people, to make people
Correct.
They have light magic. They have dark magic.
Right.
you know. So, uh, and I think history and urban legend, these are the reasons why voodoo has such a bad name, because it people think of it as bad, you know, just bad stuff.
Well,
Right.
if you really think about it, well, I was raised Catholic, but we make a prayer altar. So the prayer altar has candles, and we pray to the saints. And we have intentions where we put our intentions, our prayers for other people in a jar. So that's actually the same thing, almost. It's the
Mhm.
intent behind the ritual.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you're intending bad for others, well, you may get bad karma come back to you. You're intending good for others, you may get good karma coming back to you. That's how I look at it. You know, everybody has their opinion, but that's how I feel.
Somebody playing a video game over there?
No, that's Tracy. He's a bull in a china shop.
Oh, I thought he was over there trying to get that device together.
He can't walk through this house without making noise. It's impossible.
I thought it was a what is those things? Pinball machine.
I'm trying to.
That's okay.
Well, you know what? Hey, Bernadette,
Not my phone.
it's been an hour and 26 minutes. You know, hey, tell the world how to get a hold of you, man. If they want to come down, eat some good Cajun food, and hang out with the great team.
Well, you could find us on Facebook. We have a Facebook page. It's LSPR-Society. We don't have a website up right now, but you can find us on Facebook. We're Louisiana State Paranormal Research Society. And my name's Bernadine Richardson. You can find me on my personal page or paranormal page. And we have Jerry and Tracy on our
And
paranormal page.
Our screen name at the bottom right here, Jerry and Tracy Saunier, is
Mhm.
also our Facebook.
Yeah, and if you need to contact any of us, you can get us on Messenger.
Yep.
Uh-oh. Hold on, B. This is for you.
Buddha King. Where's that?
Actually, she's
We have a Buddha King, I think. Don't we? A
down.
restaurant? Yeah, I think we have a Boudin King in
We have
Crowd.
Donut King. We have Besh's Donut.
Donut Palace.
That's just here local.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, yeah, Cotton knows where the donut shop is.
What about Meemaws? Are they still around?
I don't know. I never heard of them.
Okay, you guys ever watched
Minis.
Alligator Swamp People?
Oh, yeah.
A
Yes.
friend that's actually one of the cast members, Big T.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's a good friend of mine. And he asked me one time, he's like, "You ever watch my show?" I'm like, "No." I don't like to see people. He's a sniper. So I don't like to see people kill animals. I can't do it, you know.
Now,
So I said, "Well, do you ever watch stuff that we're on? You know, go to our YouTube channel, watch us on TV or whatever." He's like, "Well, no, I don't like ghosts." I'm like, "Well, you see,
There you go.
we're friends, but we don't watch each other's shows." Yeah.
right? What was the main guy name that was on?
Troy Landry.
Troy Landry. He owned I think, a restaurant just on the other side of Lafayette. Or was that in oh man, what is that town that he was from? Well, no, because he owned a restaurant just on the other side of Lafayette. Like a little Cajun restaurant right there on the left-hand side as you're going up to 10. And if you make that right, going to Morgan City. But if you make that left, you
Oh,
run.
you talking about Landry's? No, that's not the same one. Landry's is a different
Landry.
Landry.
Oh,
Yeah.
I wish somebody would have told me that.
Yeah, it's a different Landry. It's not the same one. That one's been around for quite a long time.
Yeah. That was on Highway 90.
Yeah,
That's on 90.
it's on Highway 90.
Mm. All right. Well, guys. All right. One last
Oh,
question.
Jennings.
Yeah.
One more question before I get you guys out of here, man.
Okay.
B, where would like you go on your bucket list? We've had this talk before. Are you still stuck with the same places?
I'm still stuck with the same place. Number one on my bucket list is Pavia Island. And yes, in Italy.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
Yes.
That's where,
Venice, Italy.
yes, it was,
No, that's where they said all the people dying from
Yeah.
the plague.
Tuberculosis.
yeah, from TB.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the
Yeah.
doctors.
And
would-
before that, it was a mental hospital.
Yes.
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 Oh,
My bucket list, number one.
You
Then
going?
Waverly Hill Sanitarium, Louisville,
Yes.
Kentucky.
All right, you guys go there. Hey, Tracy, me and you going to the beach, buddy.
Wait, if y'all are going to the beach, I'm going too.
You got to go with B.
I'll go with Bernadine, but look, let me tell you something. I don't pass up the beach.
Now,
Well,
the
you have
beach
to
I
take
wanna-
a boat to
The beach I
Pavia
want to go
Island.
to. The beach I want to go to is on Normandy.
Normandy.
Yep.
Boy.
So we'll investigate that one when we're at the beach.
My man.
Yep. That's a good one, Tracy.
Yeah.
Bye.
Hi. Oh, please. The dogs heard us.
We got
say
the dogs
hi,
in it. Yeah.
So they think somebody's here.
Oh, you got the dogs barking.
We have a zoo at our house. So,
Oh, wow. Okay, you know what? Normandy Beach is good. That's the
mhm.
place I want to go. France, Normandy Beach. And man, and you know what? And if I can find a good psychic medium to join me, can you imagine what she would tell me on that beach? The first 10 minutes we're there.
Well, Tracy's pretty good at that also.
Yeah.
But she'll be with you. I mean,
You know,
well,
Tracy is going to Normandy. Jerry's going with me.
yeah.
Yes.
So with her.
To get you mixed up. Yeah.
But
It happens all the time.
it's still the beach.
Oh, yeah.
So is everybody set on going to Italy?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've been there, done that.
You been to Pavia Island?
No, but I've been to Italy.
Oh, okay.
I lived there for 3 years.
That's where my people's at.
That's right.
Mhm.
Yes, I am talking about Landry's.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, but I
Uh-huh.
know who that guy is on the corner right there in Lafayette on the left hand
Yeah.
side.
Yeah.
But
Some
he's
good
got some
food.
good-
It's Landry's restaurant. It's a seafood restaurant, I think.
Oh, you gotta
Yeah,
come
it-
to Abbeville, come to Shucks.
Well, no, if I'm coming, I'm going to B's house.
Yeah,
Right.
but Shucks has candied oysters.
She's gonna have to cook for us. I'm not a big oyster fan, but
Well,
hey.
you would be if you tried the candied oysters.
Oh,
Oh,
wait a
I've
minute.
never even heard of that.
They put Steen syrup on the oysters.
Oh,
Oh,
and Steen syrup's made from our
it's-
town.
And it's
Yeah.
warmed. Oh my God. It tastes
So it's
good.
like
Have
eating
to
warm,
try it.
sweet snot.
Yes.
That sounds appetizing.
Doesn't it?
she just
Yeah.
messed up everybody.
Okay, so here's another place that we could go that I'm sure it's been done before, but I bet we could get some good evidence.
Where's that?
Culloden Field in Scotland.
Oh, never heard of it.
I've never heard.
Culloden Field in Scotland. That's where it was about 40. It was probably about 1740s. That's when the Scottish Highlands were fighting British rule. That's whenever the Stuarts were trying to put another Stuart king back on the throne of England. And they always talk about Bonnie Prince Charlie. He was Charlie Stuart. He was the prince. He created an uprising in the Highlands of Scotland to support him, and they went to battle with England on that field, and they lost miserably.
Oh, wow.
Well, Eileen and I have a friend over there that's a paranormal investigator in Scotland, so we may be able to work something out.
Hey,
Yep.
Lorena, how do you know what Jenny likes? You tell me your real name? That's not your real name. And how do you know my brother-in-law? And how do you know alligator? So you're gonna have to tell me who you really are for me.
Alligator.
Alligator. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you can tell me your real name, that would help me a lot, because I know that's not your real name. And you know, so, but guys, I'm gonna hang around for a minute to Doreen. Is this you? Okay, Doreen.
The whole family.
Yeah.
Wait, Doreen used to be married to my brother-in-law. And how did you find me on Facebook? How did you find me on the podcast? I'm nationwide, baby. Hey, thanks.
There
Hey,
you go.
none of this would have happened, B, if it wasn't for you.
Oh,
So thank you. Hey, wow. Ain't that something?
Yep.
Never even think about, hey, is Charity Hospital still available down there? If it is, I want to come down there and investigate that big booger before they tear it down.
oh, you talking about New Orleans?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's one Eileen and I were talking about. It's not the old Oshners. I forgot the name of it, but it's abandoned now in New Orleans.
Border City. I can guarantee all those homeless people are in that place.
Oh, I'm sure.
Mm, a
So
nice
if they can find a way in, I can find a way. But the
No,
thing,
I'm sure homeless.
I'm not finna climb all those stairs. One level only. I'm not.
But you're only 28, Terry.
Right?
Hey, but
And you will be for the next 100 years. So, you know.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, no, the next 76 years.
Well, Dean, Tracy, and I were planning to go to England and Scotland next year. So,
Oh,
England.
something to think about.
yeah.
I you know what? I'm got my mind set.
I can get some contacts on that end.
Yeah,
Okay.
I want to go to Japan first.
Japan.
Oh, yeah?
I made a promise.
I flew into Japan. I was there for about 5 hours.
You didn't like it?
Well, I was only there for 5 hours.
That's good enough to investigate. I mean,
I
that's
didn't have
good
to
enough.
fly out. Never left the airport. But it's pretty. It's very pretty when you fly over it.
Yeah, I want to go.
England is nice. Can't wait
Doreen,
to go.
You know, you used to cook some good red beans and rice. I don't know if you can still do that. Can you?
Dean?
Oh,
No,
my bad.
Doreen.
Jimmy is gonna flip out when I tell him you were on my podcast. He is gonna flip out. Layla, right down
You
there.
never know who you're going to find in a hotel, Terry.
Oh,
Oh,
sounds
hey,
sinister.
Yeah.
right? Never know. You still do? Okay, cool. Hey, you know what? Once I hit that Louisiana tour, because I think it's coming. I don't know when it's coming, but hey, first stop Lafayette, then Baton Rouge, then New Orleans. Hey man, I'm gonna be a big boy. Hey, you guys gotta have some zingers when I get there, man.
Oh,
We'll make sure we stop.
absolutely. We will stock up for you.
And I like whole milk. Don't try to give me 2%. I feel like I'm on a diet if I drink 2%.
Whole milk.
Okay.
Oh,
Gotcha.
all right, guys.
We'll bring the cow.
Yeah. Hey, man, it has been a pleasure having sitting here talking with you guys. B, I appreciate you coming back on the show, bringing your team. Hey, man, I wish you guys a lot of love and a lot of support. And all you guys that are in the chat, hey, appreciate it. Even some of you guys I have not seen or talked to in years. But some of these guys on the chats are, part of my team. What up, niece? Justin and all you guys, hey, appreciate the support, man. I am about to get out of here because I got to go watch Godzilla at about 10:30.
Okay.
So when I'm on my way, I will be calling you.
I'll be waiting.
You
And
know,
we'll have
waiting to
a
hear from
truckload of
you.
zingers for you.
Thank you so much for
And whole
having
milk.
us.
Yes,
Yes.
thank you for having us.
appreciate it. It's been an excellent show. I really appreciate you guys. Hey, you guys, go out and support these teams. Hey, make sure you get that likes, those shares, everything up for these guys, man. If you're in the Lafayette area, hey, man, make that phone call, email, make sure if you guys are looking for a place to investigate, hey, this is the thing to do it, But anyway, guys, hey, I'm about to get out of here. This is Terry, TV Paranormal. Bye, Tracy, since you're moving around.
Oh, the bread was burning.
Oh, gosh.
Rest of your
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
Bye.
Sorry.
Bye, Jerry.
Bye, guys.
Bye.